Always look up. You never know. You might see a UFO. Today we have 7 UFO stories. So sit back and enjoy. Number 1. Barbara Lamb and the Lizard Man. A woman named Barbara Lamb, a psychotherapist who observed crop circles, claimed that a reptilian figure appeared in her house one day. He was tall and had piercing yellow eyes. Normally not fond of snakes and lizards, the reptile appeared friendly and welcoming to Lamb. So she reached out to touch his hand. Then the lizard man vanished as suddenly as he appeared. Number 2. Betty and the Barney Hill. It's only fair that we begin with one of the most famous UFO and alien abduction cases in history, the Betty and Barney Hill case. The two were driving on a road in New Hampshire at night when a bright light seemed to start following them. When they eventually got home, it was daylight. Their clothes were dirty and ripped. Their watches had stopped working, and they couldn't remember a thing. During sessions with the psychiatrist, they later recalled being probed and violated by aliens during an abduction. Number 3. Zimbabwe, Children and the End of the World. In September of 1994, several UFOs allegedly hovered near a school in Ruva, Zimbabwe. The children who observed these UFOs were terrified when they were asked to explain what had happened. They described beings with big heads, no nose, just 2 holes, no mouth, and long black hair. The children said they were dressed in dark suits and communicated telepathically. "I think it's about something that's going to happen," said one little girl. "What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. They were telling us the world's going to end. I don't even know. It just popped up in my head." He never said anything. He talked just with his eyes. Number 4. The Broadhaven Primary School Drawings. The BBC reports that in 1977, a group of school children from the Broadhaven Primary School claimed to have seen a UFO near their playground. The teachers of the school refused to believe them. But when the children were separated and asked to draw pictures of the experience, they all came up with the same exact drawing of a flying saucer. Number 5. Fred Christman and Harold Dahl. In 1947, Harold Dahl was out on a Puget Sound with his son and his dog. Dahl saw 6 strange aircraft overhead, one of which fell an estimated 1,500 feet away from the sky and into the water below. The metal debris hurt his son and killed his dog. Dahl told his supervisor at work, Fred Christman, what had happened, and Christman came and verified it for himself. Soon afterward, a man in a black suit supposedly came to Dahl and warned him not to speak of the incident again. It is said that this incident inspired the movie Men in Black. Number 6. Japan Airlines Flight 1628. In 2001, former FAA official John Callahan told a conference of high-ranking officials that in 1986, Japan Airlines Flight 1628 was on its way from Paris to Tokyo when crew members spotted several UFOs. In a television documentary, the American Heroes Channel reports that the JAL crew called in multiple UFOs surrounding the plane, including one that was 4 times their own size. They made an emergency landing in Alaska, where the ground crew confirmed the sighting. Number 7. The Mascarello Exeter Incident. It was 1965 in Exeter, New Hampshire, when a hitchhiker named Norman Mascarello saw 5 strange red flashing lights in the woods. As TV station WMUR recounts, the source of the lights suddenly came towards him at a frightening speed. Mascarello dove into a ditch to avoid being hit before flagging down a motorist. The police investigated the area, and they, too, saw the same aircraft with the same bright red lights speed off out of sight. Today, the event is celebrated with the yearly Exeter UFO Festival. That brings us to the end of this episode of the Witching Hour Wagon. More scary stories are on their way soon. And, as always, you can send your own scary stories to the email below. So, subscribe and press that like button. Thanks for tuning in. Be wary and take care, because something wicked is always on its way.